Smith from JustFlySports.com, coming to you from Health Quest Fitness Center, Napa Valley, California. Today I want to talk to you about the 3 types of squats that I personally love for athletic enhancement, particularly in the vertical jump department. My day job is a strength coach for track and field teams. So I deal with how to get track and field jumpers to get up higher on a regular basis. Of all the exercises that I use for them, I honestly feel that the one I seek the greatest improvement on is the squat. Of everything out there, that has the highest and most direct transfer with vertical jumping ability in athletes, as well as one-leg jumping ability. Olympic lifts are awesome. You hear a lot about power and all that business, but to be completely honest, the coordination involved in an Olympic lift is just a little bit different than jumping. It's possible to have a good Olympic lift and not have it transfer. If you could squat more, generally that's going to be just a little bit higher transfer to your jumping ability. So if you're keeping things as simple as possible, go with the squat. I want to show you the 3 types that I like the most to help my jumping athletes out. The first squat that I love is the full depth front or back squat. Front or back, it's not a huge deal. The front squat's going to be a little bit more back friendly because you keep your torso more straight up and down. Regardless, these squats are done in the early season. So if I'm training track jumpers and I compete in the spring, this is the big lift I'm going to use in the fall. So I'm going to do these full range of motion in the 5 to 10 rep range, so higher reps, because I want to pack some extra mass on those main muscles I'm using in the jump, okay? So, first do the front squat. Got the bar resting on my clavicles and deltoids, elbows forward. I don't like wide stances for this. For the front squat, your stance is just wider than shoulder width. Okay? I'm going to have the athlete push their knees out just a little bit. What do I mean by that? I'm going to go down. Those knees aren't in a straight line. They're out just a little. That's going to protect the back and the knees. Okay? It's not crazy. We're not doing like a yoga squat or something, but it's just enough to give us that biomechanical edge. Another thing is these squats can be done anywhere from no tempo to maybe 5 to 6 seconds on the way down. 5 to 6 seconds looks something like this. Alright, 2 things there. 1, on the way up, explode up. Psychologically, going slow on the way up for jumping, explosive athletes, I just feel like it's not good to do it that often. So every rep, explode up. Another thing I teach for squats is claw your feet into the ground. That means take your big toe and claw it towards your heel. You're essentially screwing yourself into the ground. It gives you a stable base. It actually increases the leg activation in muscles like the quads and glutes. So you're going to get a bigger effect out of the lift. You're going to be able to lift more weight and you're going to be more stable. The next type of squat I like for training jumpers is what I call the 2/3 box squat. Now it's not a powerlifting box squat. It's a squat to a box. Okay, there's a big difference. I'll demonstrate the lift and then I'll explain a little bit about it. So I got my bar here. I usually do this as a back squat, not a front squat, just because you can lift more weight and make it more intense. I have a box behind me where my knee bend is a little more than 90 degrees. It's about 3 inches north of parallel, okay? So it's not a parallel squat. Stand about 3 inches from the box. Some keys there. The reason I like that lift is because it allows you to be a little bit more explosive and it simulates jumping a little bit more closely. Obviously you want to be explosive out of the hole in a squat, but when you're down in a good depth, the speed out of the hole is not that fast. The 2/3 squat allows you to be fast and explosive out of the hole. I usually start using this lift when it's time to get competitive. I notice a lot bigger gains in jumping ability when I switch to this lift than if I was to stick with parallel squats the whole way through. The thing is though to remember, don't just jump after that lift, You gotta hit the slow squats, the full range of motion squats to build that base up before you hit those. It's gonna make it more effective. Granted, you gotta train fast to be fast, but you wanna build some work capacity, some raw strength, some muscle cross-sectional area first. You can also do that lift being a little bit slower on the way down. Sometimes I'll do like a 3-second tempo on the way down, just to make a little bit more control in that more jump specific range of motion. I think it works pretty well. The last type of squat I love to use for jumpers is the timed half squat. When it comes to building raw strength, I like a bigger range of motion. It activates more muscle units, it's easier on the back, it allows for a little more building of that engine. When it comes to being fast, and specifically firing muscles very fast and turning muscles on and off very fast, it really doesn't get a whole lot better than timed reps on something like the half squat. The half squat's similar to what actually happens with jumping. We hate on it all the time when people post a squat max and it's a half squat or a quarter squat. When it comes to being fast though and specific, we want to actually go partial. We want to be close to what we're doing. So for the timed half squat, I usually put my body weight on the bar, so I always know where I'm at. So I got my body weight on the bar, I'm going to do 5 squats as fast as possible. I'm going to be pulling myself down to that box, not smashing my butt in the box. You don't want to put energy into the box or you're cheating yourself. As soon as you feel pressure on the box, explode up. So I'm going to do 5 reps as quickly as I can. I usually am going to have someone time this. I try to get better week to week. So here I go. Okay, so that was the type of range of motion that generates a lot of hate on YouTube, but who cares? I'm helping myself jump higher, especially off one leg, and getting up quicker off the 2 legs. That's what it's all about if you're an athlete. Take the majority of the base building and a little bit during in season to maintain those full ranges of motion. Move towards the 2/3 range once it's time to start getting powerful. When it's time to really lay it down, jump to that half squat time. I think it's really going to help you out. If you're a track and field jumper, basketball, football, whatever, you want to jump higher, that's the way to go in my opinion for squat progressions. Joel Smith, JustFlySports.com.